Yeah, we're going to unmute everybody now, and and we're going to ask that you speak one at a time. And we're going to do our best to answer any questions for you. Hello. And there we go. All right. How was that for everyone?
Excellent. Thank you for that, Janine.
Great.
That was awesome.
Really
Great.
enjoyed that.
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. So was there any questions for me on any of this work that we did today? It's okay. You don't have to have questions.
Yeah. I don't know if this is maybe part 2 or part 3.
Okay.
The animal's breath,
Yes.
like say we're grounded and our breathing, we've grounded our body, we've grounded our breath.
Yeah.
We intend to go in to care for the animal. And then, but their breath, their body language.
So what we do
to be
know this,
observed.
yeah,
That
we do know this. Okay, so we talked about the quantum physics, and that our bodies vibrate and give off a frequency, and this frequency is known as resonance. Okay, and that they've now been doing studies that when you have a high resonance, meaning when you come from a place of compassion and love and kindness, you are actually vibrating at a higher frequency. So this work is brought forward from Dr. Hawkins in an amazing book called Power versus Force. And when we are in these higher vibrations, what happens is that if we can maintain that high vibration, that we bring animals or people who are in lower vibration up to meet us. So we know that to be true. If you've ever been in a room and you hear people laughing, no matter how hard you try, you end up laughing too. Like they pull you along, and all of a sudden it's funny and you're in a really good mood. So when we are steady and stable and grounded and all those wonderful things, this actually gives us the ability to bring the animals up in vibration to help meet us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to get that book.
Yeah, it's called Power versus Force with Dr. Hawkins.
Nice.
Any other questions?
Just one comment about a perfect example for me today would be Bonnie Henry. She seems to be a person that just helps make you feel calm.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know somebody like that in our lives, that just talking to them and you just feel like, oh, thank you. But the opposite is true. We all know someone in our lives that is like a drama queen, right? And it's funny, think about this. Okay, so I think we all got that, crazy uncle or someone in our lives that is really all over the place. And imagine talking to them on the phone. When you're done on the phone, do you feel uplifted or drained?
Yeah.
You've got it. You feel terrible. You feel drained. And they've actually have been doing some studies that people who have no responsibility for their own energy, not the words coming out of their mouths, but their own energy, that they actually don't have as much emotional intelligence as other people do, that these people are almost what we would call to be an energetic vampire, that they literally suck the energy out of other people and even out of the room. And I think we've all had that happen. You've walked into a space and there was somebody grumpy in the corner. And you feel it, you know it. You're like, oh, I better avoid them. Like, you don't want to go anywhere over to that, because they're actually, you can feel that entire space. And unfortunately, sometimes it might be someone that we know very well or a loved one. And just by talking to them, you can actually feel that they can affect your energy. And the key is that if you know that prior to going in, you would want to really check your energy and to make sure that you're vibrating at as highest level as you can, so that that interaction is not pulling you down, that you hopefully are pulling them up to meet you. It may not be all the way, but at least you're pulling them upward to meet you. That's the key to it.
That's very interesting.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, and as a light worker, it's be the light. You know, if you're always coming from that place, then we give those around us permission to come from that place.
Right.
And that's
Probably
the same with the animals.
especially true right now when we're all isolated together in our homes.
Yeah, it's really easy to
Yep.
focus only on the fear right now,
Yeah.
because there's so much uncertainty and so much information happening that it's really easy for us to focus on that. Um, I just turned off the news.
Yeah.
And I don't even listen, you know, and all I focus on is every single day, what can I do on a daily basis to stay in a place of peace and calm and clarity and love and forgiveness and all those higher vibrations.
Right.
Good point.
And we also know, at one more note, that the lower, denser vibrations of emotions, such as anger and shame and guilt, they actually suppress your immune system. And studies have actually shown that they actually change your cell structure. That when
Wow.
somebody is constantly angry or sad or anxious, that over time, it actually changes the whole physiology of the person. And that's
Wow.
the same for animals. You know, if an animal is in a constant state of fear, and those hormones, like us, of cortisol and all those are pumping through the body, that even an animal cannot withstand long-term stress. They just cannot. And most animals can take a little bit of stress, just like us. But when there's multitude of stress and a multitude of things happening all at once, they, like us, can just have a breakdown almost, if you will,
Yeah.
that they just cannot handle it. And then, you know, sickness can arise, behavioral issues can arise, you know, and over time, that the body just begins to break down very, very quickly. We are not meant to be in a constant state of stress for long periods of time. Any other questions for us? Okay, so I'm going to invite Chris to come back onto the camera here, and I'm going to be walking away and creating some space before she comes on. And thank you ever so much for allowing me to be here today. And I really want to say to you, all of you, that I admire you, and I am honored to have been with you this morning. And you do great work. And the world needs more volunteers and more people exactly like you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jean.
Thank you so much.
Janine.
That's your thing. Okay.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, was that good for you guys? I don't know.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Only start one,
Excellent.
right? So we can practice this for a little bit, and we'll start to be reframing actual exercises that we can do. We can work on the signage thing. I would really like us to put together that. I'm going to start something, get your creative ideas going around that signage. And then there was also another thing that Janine didn't mention, but it was about the water and the memory of water. And I don't know if you guys have seen the
That'll be
those.
part 2.
Oh, is that part 2? Oh, okay.
That's part 2.
Okay, sorry, I won't jump the
See.
gun. I wanted to get on that right away. Okay, so water and yeah, and intention. Yeah, okay, that's part 2.
That's part 2.
Okay.
Stay
So,
tuned.
so that was just a little teaser, you know, you've been teasing all along the way. So there you go. All right, so we won't keep you any much longer, any much longer. And we will work on the production of this to post it on the website, and so it'll be available to you guys or in the driver somewhere. And then yeah, let's keep communicating about this and practicing together. Like, I think this is really good. Like, we can remind each other when we're on shift on how to practice,
Right.
you know, practice this together. So
Yep.
we get so caught up on the tasks, and it's kind of hard to even take a moment to do that. So I need to practice that as well. So so we can all help each other on that. And any final
Yeah.
words, Karen? Any final words?
I am just thrilled with meeting Janine.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about her. And she did just such a wonderful, compassionate hour for us. And I just really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And look forward to learning more. I took my notes.
All right, great.
Me too.
You know, you think you kind of know it all, and
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
2 pages worth of notes.
Awesome.
Well, she also modeled. She modeled exactly what she wanted us
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do. You know.
And I
worked
think
out
what
for me.
really resonated for me with Janine was just, you know, her demeanor and her way of being. And then I always feel better around her too.
Positivity.
So,
Positivity.
so I'm sorry you couldn't be in her presence, but I think she did a pretty good job conveying that over the video. And
Yeah.
I think that's our challenge, is how do we share the feeling of being at the farm with people who aren't here. And you know, Dawn is engaging with us on ways to do that. Anna's working hard on that. And you know, how do you get the you know, the feel?
Yeah.
You know, so trying to get the feel of it, so we can share more about what we're all about. So
I think she accomplished that today.
yeah, I do too. Yeah, awesome. Okay, guys,
Yep.
so this is great.
Thanks,
So
Chris. Thank
we'll
you.
set up another date probably in 2 weeks maybe, and we'll see, we'll talk about water and other things.
Okay. Thanks
I
a
miss
lot.
you guys. I'll see
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Chris.
Take care.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Now I have to figure out how to leave the meeting.
Yeah. We'll cut you off. Yeah. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Not yet.
Start to see the.